On this education slot, I am going to be talking to you about the mindset of inviting visitors. Now, I also run a podcast called The Engaging Marketeer, and on episode 27, I think it was, of The Engaging Marketeer, I interviewed Dr. Ivan Meisner, the founder of BNI. And one of the things we talked about when we spoke a lot about BNI on this podcast episode was on inviting visitors. How you approach visitors, how you speak to potential visitors, how you talk to them about BNI so that they actually want to come along. And one of the problems many BNI members are facing when they look to invite visitors, and you may be coming through this yourself, is the mindset of actually speaking to a potential visitor. Because a lot of people, a lot of BNI members, when they speak to a potential visitor, they're thinking, oh, I really hope he says yes or she says yes. I really hope they want to come along. I haven't had a visitor for 6 months. I'm losing points on the traffic lights. Everybody's looking at me. I'm the only member in the chapter that hasn't brought a visitor. I really hope they say yes. And it's a point of real desperation. It's like if you ever watched The Simpsons, there's a character on The Simpsons called Gil. Gil is usually he's a salesman or business advisor, or he's in some sort of business, and he's generally rubbish at it. He's really desperate. He's really bad. Desperation just reeks off him, and nobody ever buys anything from him. Nobody ever does whatever he wants them to do because he just seems so desperate. That's what a lot of members are like when they're approaching visitors. And if somebody like Gil from The Simpsons comes up to you and asks you to do something or invites you to a BNI, for example, you're probably going to say no, because it's quite clear how desperate he is to get a visitor. Now, if you go up to a member like that and you do have this sense of desperation, it's not going to work. But you need to flip that around in your mind. You need to flip that around in your head. You've got to get rid of this voice that says, "Ooh, what if they say no? What if they don't want to come? What if they're unhappy that I've asked them? What if they've been asked before and they hated it?" Get rid of that and think, why are you in BNI in the first place? Why are you currently a member of BNI? Do you enjoy it? Do you get business from it? Does it work for you? Is it one of the best things you've done for your business? Because me personally, just this last month, I put in just over £7,000, thank you for the business, for the month. So we as a business earned over £7,000 for 1 month through referrals from our BNI group. And that's 7 times more than what BNI costs for the year. 7 times more than it costs for the year. So obviously it's working really well for us. Throughout the course of the year, we're probably going to get about £60,000, £70,000 worth of business through BNI. It works for us. And if somebody had invited me to come along to join a group where I was going to get that kind of return, I'd be delighted about it, obviously. Now, if you're in a position yourself where you're doing really well out of BNI and you think it's fantastic, it's one of the best things for your business, when you speak to a potential visitor, don't be thinking to them, I really hope this person comes along, because you are offering them the opportunity to get those kind of returns for their business. You are speaking to them about something that could actually transform their business, that could get them loads of referrals, something that they are going to want. So don't think about it as in, I really want you to come, I really want you to be a visitor. Think about it as, this could be really good for you. I think you'll do really well out of this. I think this is one of the best things you could ever do. And if they don't want to come, fine. Not everybody sees the opportunity. But it's how you phrase it and how you come across. Work on that mindset about how you invite a visitor, because you are not desperate for them to come. They will be grateful that you have invited them because of what it's going to do for their business. And then how you ask them will massively determine whether or not they come along. Now, I've got other videos on inviting visitors. I've got other videos on this YouTube channel on how you actually phrase the questions, how you find the hook to get visitors into the room, even scripts for social media on how you can approach visitors and message them and get them to come along, and how you can ensure they turn up afterwards. So have a look at all of those videos, and thank you very much for listening.